Right, here we are back in the workshop again with this Royal Enfield 250 Super 5, and I'm going to try an idea which will hopefully stop the gear selector mechanism overshooting, which is doing in both directions on upward changes and downward changes. Regarding the intermediate gears, it's getting first, no problem at all, and it's getting top, no problem at all, but if I adjust it to compensate for the overshot gear changes in one direction, I can lose the ability to get first gear, and if I adjust to improve the ability to get first gear, it overshoots in the intermediate gears again, going the opposite way. I'll try and demonstrate and show what's going on. We're in neutral at the moment. Now I'm going to rotate the back wheel and I'm going to hook the gear lever up, and that's put us into first gear. You can't go any further than first gear, so that's fine. It's clicked in, so that's good enough. Now then, one click down from there gives us neutral. Next we've got second, which clicks in nicely. You're going from neutral to second, but in the real world when you're riding you'll be in first gear and change to second from that, and this is where it can overshoot. Actually went in that time, typical. Right, let's go back down to first. Now then, second, third. We overshot second, so much so there it was actually third gear that we picked up, not second. So there we go. Right, back down, there's third, there's second, first. Right, we're in first now then. Right, there we are. I've missed second gear, I've gone past it, and I'm between second and third in a neutral. Now if I hook the gear lever back up a little, there we are, we've clicked into second. So what's essentially happening is in the intermediate gears I'm now in top gear. Now let's go down to third. We actually missed third and shot into second there. So what's happening, we have to get that as well, didn't we? What's happening is this mechanism here is moving too far when I try to select the intermediate gears. Now what I'm going to do, put the camera down for a second, hopefully it'll stay there this time. If I change up through the gears, make some of these become a bit more visible. What I'm going to try and do, and have done in the past on other examples of these machines, is these teeth represent the upward gear changes. When you press the gear lever down, this spring loaded pole here engages on them and pushes it that way until finally, as we are now, you reach top gear where you can't go any further than that anyway. But for the other upward changes, this tooth and this tooth, I'm going to grind a little bit off them, only a few thou, and likewise for the downward changes, if I can demonstrate those. Here we go, down, there we are, we've overshot third and we're between third and second. There's, right, we've gone all the way to first actually there. I'll show you those teeth responsible for that. They're underneath there. Where they're, it's a bit dark, I know, let's see. There they are. So I'm going to grind the teeth back that are responsible for changing from first to second and second to third, and I'm going to grind the teeth back that are responsible for coming down from fourth to third and third to second, because the overall movement of the mechanism and the linkage from engaging top gear to engaging first gear is nice and centralized, and we're getting first gear and we're getting top gear nicely, but it's the two gears in between going in both directions that we're getting too much travel for. Now if I adjusted anything to reduce the travel overall, I'd lose first gear again and possibly even top gear, so I'm going to leave that alone. So I'm going to try grinding the relevant teeth back on that quadrant there, just the ones that affect second and third gears in both directions, and see how I get on. Hopefully I won't make things any worse, but we'll obviously find out soon. Hopefully we can just see here, I've highlighted two teeth on the quadrant there that are responsible for changing up into second from first and up into third from second. And what I intend to do is just grind a tiny amount off the edge of each of them, so that this pole here, which is working fine in other respects, doesn't push the quadrant quite as far as it currently does. I don't want to grind this away because I might lose the amount of movement I need to engage top gear, so I'll leave this alone and treat each tooth on the quadrant as the individual gears. So first thing I'm going to do now is dismantle this, take this off, grind these two back just a little bit and refit it and check my upward changes, and hopefully they'll be improved, and then I can do similar on the opposite side of the quadrant for the downward changes. So let's see how that goes. Well, as already discussed in my workshop footage preceding this, I've been doing some work on the gear change mechanism inside behind this cover, and according to tests I've done with the bike on the bike lift, with the rear wheel raised off the deck, rocking the rear wheel backwards and forwards and using the gear lever, I think that I've probably improved the gear change mechanism's precision and reduced the odds of getting missed gears and false neutrals. And I've actually just been up and down the lane on this, and it would seem to be the case, fingers crossed. So I'm going to take a ride on it again shortly. I've already seen that the engine's performing much better now and going more like it should, because it was a little bit flat before I did some work on the points, auto advance mechanism and the timing. So I'm really just interested in what the gearbox might do this time, and so we'll go and do the Bantam Hill run. I'll just get my bike jeans and jacket and stuff on, and we'll head on up there and see if we can see my friend the dog and possibly get chased. And if we can go around that loop without missing gears, I think that will sort of pretty much confirm that hopefully I've cracked it. So I'm going to get ready now, and we'll head out for a ride shortly. Right, time to go and see how the gear change mechanism works on this bike and see if it's as good as the engine now seems to be. Hopefully everything will behave itself now, and we should get a satisfactory ride out of it. You never know, we might see our friend the dog out and about heading for Bantam Hill. That's a good little loop to do when you want to use the gearbox or the clutch. There'll be plenty of gear changes going that way. As I've already said, I'm happy with how the engine seems to be performing now. So if we can get some joy out of the gearbox and actually enjoy riding it without missing gears all over the shop, I think we might have cracked it.
far so good. It's a pity actually that the 5-speed gearboxes weren't more successful, because they would have worked really well with this, the nature of this sort of engine. It's no slouch on 4 gears, but if it had a 5-speed gearbox that worked as intended, these would have been great, like. Black Mountain and the Brecon Beacons ahead of us there. Down at Llangadog in the Torrey Valley there. Well, I suppose it was inevitable we'd meet someone one day. Right. Yeah, still got a reasonable camera angle, I think. Right.
1
Apparently they had a tractor run along this road a few days ago. 83 tractors came along here. That would have been something to meet. One bungle gearchange. Right, I'm in first gear. And now I'm in neutral. Well, that did the trick with the gearbox. I bungled one gear change from first to second, which I think was down to me rather than the bike. Oh, and also I tightened the rocker cover down, and that seems to have dealt with the oil leak that we had last time. So I think we can probably call that a wrap. I'm happy with the way the engine's performing, and not only that, the gears can be used now, and it's actually a pleasure and fun to ride it, and that's always a good indicator that you're done. When a bike's enjoyable to ride, it's going well enough to be enjoyed, and it's a miserable experience when you're missing gears and jumping out of gear and getting the wrong gear, even when the engine's performing nicely. But when you get it all working as it should, like this is here, that's a job worth doing.